A shameful incident coming in from the national capital, Delhi. Take a look at the video about to come up on your screens now. This video has gone viral. In the video, this man, smiling right now, is accused, remember, brandishing a gun at the cop who was trying to douse the communal tension at the time during the Northeast Delhi riots in 2020. But when he came out of jail today, he was seen receiving a hero's welcome. He was seen waving at now his crowd of supporters who had gathered for his welcome while he's out on parole. The man in question, take a look at that just to jog your memory. On one side of your screen, in Northeast Delhi riots, his name is Shahrukh Pathan. He's undergoing trial, was out on parole to visit his ailing father at his Delhi residence. Of course, there, brandishing a gun at a cop, and today gets a hero's welcome. Of course, politics has broken out. BJP leader Kapil Mishra commented on the viral video saying several places in Delhi have become like mini Pakistan. He said that the mindset of the enemy of nation and will be suppressed. So that was how he was seen brandishing a gun. Today, smiles gets a rousing welcome locally. So take a look at these two visuals. Remember, the cop here stood alone, did not put the gun back at him, stood alone, facing that gun. That cop was deployed to manage this mob that was out on the streets. Communal riots of 2020 Northeast Delhi. He brandished a gun, and today, while his trial is on, he wanted parole to visit his ailing father. Of course, a situation of sadness for anyone. On goodwill, he was given that parole, but he comes out walking as if he's a hero, supporting, waving, and to this crowd of supporters as he had achieved something great. These two visuals are telling us what precisely is the situation on the ground. Take a look at how the tense situation was then. This is about the end of February, March, early in 2020, when the northeast area of Delhi had broken out into communal riots. Remember, many people had got killed as well. Many went missing. Houses were put on fire. Business establishments suffered. This man was seen brandishing a gun at a cop, at a policeman who was just with his lathi trying to calm down the situation there. Today, Shahrukh Pathan gets a rousing welcome. We'll try and get you the reactions also coming in from right now in Delhi. Of course, Kapil Mishra, who has been facing a lot of flack as well, all this while with regard to the riots or whether he had instigated. But today, Kapil Mishra says this shows the mentality of mini Pakistan, and this mentality will suffer. But Shahrukh Pathan today getting a rousing welcome, had aimed the gun at the cop. From Delhi, let me take you to Karnataka now. There was an interfaith relationship and it led to the killing of the man. It has now sent shockwaves, but it also takes us back to reminders. Remember Nagaraju? Remember Mithun? Now Vijay Kamble from Karnataka's Kalaburgi has been murdered because he appeared to be in an interfaith relationship. Vijay Kamble, the deceased, was in love with a woman of a different religion and he was beaten up by a gang of miscreants, and that over this relationship. Shahabuddin and Nawaz are the two accused men in the murder case. They have now been taken into arrest. Preliminary reports suggest by the police that woman's family was against this relationship. Police are now questioning the family members, looking for any CCTV camera footage. But after the incident, the situation in the area has turned tense. Police have tightened security in that area. Vijay Kamble brutally murdered just because he was in a relationship with a woman of another religion.
Phone ಬಂತ್ರಿ ಫೋನ್ ಬರ್ಲತ್ತಿನಪ್ಪ ನಾ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ ಬಂದೆ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಒಂದು ಭಾಜಿ ತರ್ಕಾರಿ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ ನಾಳೆ ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ಜರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಾಕ ಅಸರ್ ಕರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ
ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಫೋನ್ ಬರ್ತೀರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
ಏನು ಫೋನ್
ನೀವು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ನಾನು ಮನೆ
ಏನಾಗ್ಯದ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು
ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಯದ ಇವನೇ ಪಾರ್ ಯಾಕ ನೀ ಬಾ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ತಪ್ಪಿ ಹೊಡೆದಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಿದ್ದಾನ ನಾ ಓಡೋಗಿನ್ರಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೋಡತನ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಏನು ಯಾರಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇಪ್ಪ.
ಮಾತಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ?
ಕಲಾಸ ಆಗೇನ್ರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ ಬರ್ತದ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ನೋಡವ್ರಿ. ಪೂರ ಕಲಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ ಚಕ್ಕು ಚೂರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಬಾರಗ. ತಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದಾರ್ರಿ ಹಿಂದ್ ಬಾಜು, ಮೇಲೆ ತಲಿ ಪೆಟ್ಟು ಬಡ್ಕೆಸಿ ಚಕ್ಕು ಚೂರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ್ರಿ ಅವ್ರು.
ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ ಏನಾರ ಜಗಳ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮತ್ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ?
ಬಂದಿವ್ರಿ,
7-8 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಂದ್ರಿ.
ಅದ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಬೆಳೆದ್ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ರಿ. ಈಗ
ಮತ್ತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಹುಡುಗಿ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬಂದ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ?
ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಲ್ರಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಅಣ್ಣೆ ಬಂದಿದ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಮನೆಗೆ. ಅವಾಗ
ಏನಂತ?
ನಿನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಚಲೋ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಕಲ್ಸ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನಮ್ ತಂಗಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ ಮಗನ್ ಕುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಪೈ ನಿನ್ ಕೈಯಾಗ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ ಹೋದ್ರು.
ಅವ್ರು ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮದವ್ರು ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಅವರು ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಹೆಂಗೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಡ್ಯೂಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಅವನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಡು ಇವನು ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಇವನೇನು ಅಂತರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ತಲೆ ಏನು ಇಡಲಾಗ್ಯಾನ. ನಾನು ಈ ರೀತಿ ತಿಳಿದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ರು ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು
ಅವ್ನ್ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅವನ್ ಜಾತಿದ
ಸರ್ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಎಸ್ ಸಿ ಸರ್, ವಾಲೆ ಸಮಾಜದವರು. ಅವರು ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್. ಅವ್ರು ಒಂದು ಟೈಮು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವರು ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸರ್. ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಈಗ ಇದು ಆಯ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ನನಗಂತೂ ಭಾಳ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ನಾನೀಗ ಯಾವ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು?
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ.
Ma'am, I just want to know more details about this Dalit youth's murder, ma'am, in Kalaburgi.
What details you need?
Ma'am, has the accused been arrested, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, the names of the accused, ma'am?
Shabuddin and Nawaz.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. When were they arrested, ma'am?
Yesterday.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
This is yet another instance after the Nagraju case where a man was killed because he married a Muslim woman. But ironically, those who trend Dalit Lives Matter, those who talk about Jai Bhim, Jai Meen, today are silent about the killing of Vijay Kamble. Today, no placards are being held up, no awards are being returned, no vulture politics is being done. When Khetaram Bhil is killed in Rajasthan for the very same reason, because the victim is of a particular community and because the aggressor is of a particular community, there is no secular outrage on this. There is selective silence on this.
What happened in Kalaburgi is really tragic and heartbreaking. This is not the first instances of moral policing happening in the state. We have seen this happening in Belgaum as well last year. But this must not repeat. This should not repeat. All of this happens because women are objectified and the society thinks, the patriarchal mindset thinks, women can be told who to live their life with and how to live their life. My question is, why isn't the Home Minister visiting the bereaved family? Why isn't the Home Minister there in Kalaburgi comforting the family which has lost its
Killers of Kashmiri TV actor Mriya Bhatt have been gunned down in an encounter today morning. It took the armed forces less than 24 hours to avenge the death of that woman. Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists who killed the TV actor, injured also her 10-year-old nephew, have now been neutralized in Kashmir's Avantipura area. Both have been identified as Shahid Mushtaq and Farhan Abib. Forces have also recovered one AK-56 rifle, 4 magazines and a pistol from them. 2 encounters, remember, were underway by the armed forces. One in Srinagar, another one was in Avantipura. A total of 10 terrorists, including 3 from Jaish-e-Mohammed and 7 from Lashkar-e-Taiba, have been neutralized in the last 3 days. Earlier on Wednesday, just to give you a background, the television actor and social media star Mriya Bhatt was shot down right outside her residence when she was called out on a pretext. Not just that, the terrorists went back into the house and targeted her 10-year-old nephew Farhan Zubai, who's also received injuries. Civilian killings, targeted ones, are on the rise in the valley. Before Amreen, terrorists had killed police constable Saifullah Qadri and injured, take a look at that, her 9-year-old daughter in the outskirts of Srinagar. Former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has met the family of the woman in Budgam, condemned the attack and now has said situation is deteriorating in the valley.
2 LT का टेररिस्ट मारा गया है और हम सब को याद है कि 2 दिन पहले एक टीवी एक्ट्रेस को मारा था। हम लोग तभी से उसको ट्रैक कर रहे थे। उसमें से दोनों मारे गए हैं। लतीफ़ के डायरेक्शन पर दोनों ने किल किया था। तो जो हमारे लेट जो सिस्टर हैं अमरीन, उनको जस्टिस मिला है। ये नया ट्रेंड है टेररिस्ट का कि लोगों में टेरर फैलाना, भय फैलाना, इसलिए सिविलियन को, वुमेंस को, छोटे बच्चों को टारगेट कर रहा है। ये कायराना हरकत है। पूरी सोसाइटी को इसके खिलाफ बोलना चाहिए। इवन कि आतंकवादी के फैमिली मेम्बर को इसके खिलाफ बोलना चाहिए।
Security forces killed 2 Lashkar-e-Taiba militants in Avantipora area of Pulwama district in South Kashmir. Police claims that both the militants were involved in the killing of a TV star and a social media influencer, Amreen Bhatt, in Chadura on Wednesday evening. Since then, security forces have launched multiple operations in different localities, and finally during 24 hours, both the killers of TV star had been gunned down. In fact, during last 3 days, in 4 different encounters, security forces have killed 10 militants, which include 3 from Jaish-e-Mohammed and 7 from the Lashkar-e-Taiba. Security forces have also a relief that they have brought the justice to the killed TV actor Amreen Bhatt. She was killed on Wednesday and her killers had been neutralized within 24 hours of her murder. Ashraf Wani for India Today in Srinagar.
जम्मू कश्मीर में बेगुनाहों का, खासकर कश्मीरियों का, चाहे वो राहुल भट्ट हो, चाहे शोएब गनाई हो, चाहे वो सैफुल्लाह कादरी हो और आज हमारी बच्ची अमरीना भट्ट हो, तो ये तो एक रोज का मामूल बन गया है। और जो मरकजी सरकार है वो जूं की तूं है। उनकी जो उनकी मस्कुलर पॉलिसी है, दबाव की पॉलिसी है, दोन्स की पॉलिसी है, उसका ये नतीजा है कि दिन ब दिन जम्मू कश्मीर में हालात बेहतर होने के बजाय बिगड़ रहे हैं, खराब हो रहे हैं। और वो पूरी दुनिया में ये चिल्लाते हुए फिरते रहते हैं कि जम्मू कश्मीर में सब ठीक ठाक हो गया। जम्मू कश्मीर में कुछ ठीक ठाक नहीं हुआ। जम्मू कश्मीर में रोज बेगुनाहों की हलाकतें हो रही हैं।
There can be no justification for these sort of attacks, none whatsoever. And an attack in which a child is injured is even more dastardly, even more cowardly. How can you fire bullets when you know that there are children in the vicinity? How do you justify it? I don't see how you can justify it by any yardstick. And recent attacks have all seen children injured.
It was once a dream aircraft, but today the aircraft is in shambles in Ukraine. The world's largest aircraft was destroyed on the 4th day of Russia's invasion into Ukraine. Now the remains of Mriya, or Dream in Ukrainian, are being dismantled in the hostile city of Ukraine. The destruction of the legendary Mriya triggered alarm and sadness among the aviation sector across the world, which it occupied for almost as a cult status. This enormous aircraft, a gigantic one, was parked at an airfield, remember, near Kyiv, when it was attacked by the Russian military. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, however, has announced his intention to rebuild the famous cargo plane Mriya, dedicating the project to the memory of pilots who died in the ongoing war. And just to now take you back, as our reporters had been on the ground in Ukraine, here's a report by my colleague Gaurav Sawant. He was in Ukraine's hostel at the time of Mriya's destruction and sent in this report. Take a look.
We are at the Hostomel Air Base, and this is from the cradle to the grave. This is Mriya AN-225, the biggest aircraft ever to fly. You can actually feel the pain when you look at this aircraft. The biggest aircraft, Soviet era engineering marvel, 6 engines, 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and this aircraft literally cut into half by a massive missile strike that took place. We are at the Hostomel Air Base. There is a lot of unexploded cargo here at this point of time. But just for size, this is a strategic lift transport aircraft, the biggest of such aircraft ever to be built. And this aircraft now just lies, it's shattered. Just compare this size and those small aircraft standing there. You can just compare the size of these two aircraft and you can make out Russia tried to capture this many times. They launched their Spetsnaz, their special forces at this airfield, and they did not. So initially they succeeded, then they failed in counterattacks. Look at the anti-aircraft, tracked anti-aircraft guns here. Tracked anti-aircraft guns here, the S-300 system there, the tanks that are parked there, the missile tubes of the S-300 there, the anti-aircraft system here, all burnt, all burnt. This is the hangar, this is the main hangar of Mriya. The number of missiles and rockets fired, it's like pockmarked. This complete place is pockmarked with the rocket strikes, missile strikes, airburst, cargo, bomblets. This place littered with ammunition and a lot of unexploded ammunition also in this place. This actually the pride of Ukraine, the pride of Soviet Union at one point of time, Mriya AN-225. It's now just, it's cut into half, broken in two parts.